and welcome to CX Today. My name is Charlie, and I'm joined by Clare Muscutt, founder and CEO of Women in CX. Clare, thank you very much for coming onto our platform. How are you doing today?
I'm great, and thank you so much for having me.
Well, it's always a pleasure to have you come and talk to us. And today I'm very excited to talk about your upcoming Women in CX conference. But maybe kind of before we get into kind of the event and the event in itself, it'll be interesting for kind of our viewers who maybe haven't come across Women in CX. Maybe if you could, talk to us a little bit about the organization and kind of why you decided to start up this movement almost.
Sure thing. So, Women in CX is the world's first membership organisation for women working in customer experience and technology. And the reason I started the movement was actually during the pandemic. I was looking for community myself during a particularly difficult time. And having always been quite frustrated by the fact that I was one of the only women, particularly in the UK, that had a profile around being a thought leader in customer experience, I decided it was an opportunity for me to use my platform to help lift others. So Women in CX actually started with a podcast, which was purely a passion project. That when the world shut down, it gave me the time to be able to create something. And the conversations that I had with those women during that time were so incredible that it inspired a community to form kind of on its own around us on social media. And I was just really fortunate that a investor in Silicon Valley listened to the podcast, really liked what we were doing, and said, if you had some money behind you, what would you do? And I said, I would start the world's first online membership community for women in customer experience so they could unite and support one another, particularly during the pandemic. So he gave us $10,000 and didn't take any equity. And it gave us the chance to basically start a discovery to understand what women's needs were behind community. And it snowballed from there. We built our first MVP of the online membership community platform. We invited 30 founding members to co-design it with us. And over the course of the last 2.5 years, it's grown to become a much larger organisation with over 9,000 members, sponsors and supporters from all over the world. It's been pretty incredible.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And we kind of in our at CX Today, sorry, a lot of those 9,000 are now kind of on our judging panels for award shows and the kind of analysts giving their takes on some of the biggest
Yeah.
news. And I think that's almost Women in CX kind of giving that platform, and they give us some really great content too. So I think it's such a great organization that you started off, and kind of that leads us nicely into the Women in CX conference, I suppose. And maybe to kind of start off this kind of discussion around the conference, let's start off with kind of the simple question, sort of when is it, where is it, and kind of why should our viewers consider attending?
Yeah, so it's on October the 10th in central London at Mary Ward House, which is just by King's Cross Station. It's starting at 8 in the morning, running through till 6 p.m. in the evening. And oh my God, there are so many reasons why you should consider attending, starting with, I think the fact that it's been co-designed around attendee feedback. So we ran our first conference last year, which was absolutely incredible. And we listened to our members to understand what they wanted this time around. And we've absolutely delivered on that. So, if you want to come and hear from a super inspiring lineup of speakers, including people like Ian Golding, John Sill, Sandra Thompson, Diane Majors, and many, many more, this is the place to be. But also that it is really going to feel quite different to the usual conferences that people attend, particularly in the CX and technology space.
Mm. Yeah, and I kind of want to dive onto that last point a little bit more. Obviously, you've noted that it's kind of very much driven by attendee feedback from your conference last year, but how else does it differ from kind of the usual CX conference?
Yeah, so I think probably the key things to note is usually, I think as I said at the beginning, you go to conferences, particularly around customer experience and technology, and predominantly the speakers on stage are men, the panels are mainly males, and there are very few women represented in those really important discussions. And our conference basically flips it on its head, where we've only got two male speakers and the rest are all women from across the globe. Um, I think the other thing that CX events have become has been more about an exercise for sponsorship and vendors and bringing an audience to them, for them to take the platform on stage and to promote their points of view. And we have always not allowed any promotion or selling within our community, full stop. So it will be guaranteed that there are literally nobody standing on stage, just 100% authentic point of view, and nobody trying to sell you anything, which I think is going to feel very different again to most conferences. And yeah, I guess just the level to which, not only been designed around attendee feedback, but also the fact that we've designed the experience for our attendees too. So a lot of thought's gone into what it's going to look and feel like, to guarantee the maximum amount of engagement, passion and enthusiasm for the women attendees to go back and start changing the world themselves and challenging the status quo where they are.
Excellent, and lots of really great stuff in there. But I just kind of want to maybe dive deeper into some of the sessions that will take part within the conference. Are there any that that you're personally really looking forward to?
Oh, it'd be hard to choose because it's literally the most incredible lineup. I suppose I'll just walk through the experience. In the morning, our attendees are going to be welcomed into this gorgeous library for breakfast networking. We're hosting the event in this beautiful hall. It's actually really nicely ties in with our ethos. It was started by a female philanthropist in the 1800s to provide education for women, and it's absolutely stunning as a venue. In the first part of the morning, we're actually starting with an opening ceremony where I'm not going to give too many secrets away, but it's going to be a really amazing experience to start that conference together with a room full of women. And then we move into the CX inspiration sessions. So we've got Ian Golding coming to talk about the brutal and honest truth about the future of customer experience. We've got John Sills, the author of Human Experience, coming to give a 15-minute TED Talk about the key themes of his book. Maria McCann challenging how customer experience frameworks and particularly measurement frameworks are stifling creativity, before we go into a panel debate featuring some women from amazing brands, including Waitrose, Target, Santander, and some experts from AI and technology. The mainstay, I think, is these hugely engaging, exciting, fun, interactive workshops. So women have got the choice of which workshops to attend, but we've got workshops on overcoming imposter syndrome, how to design human experience. We've got a employee experience laboratory. We've got Lego serious play workshops happening before we come back after the afternoon sessions for a really big surprise. Now, that's the one I'm most looking forward to, but I can't tell anybody about that. We've got Veronica Owusu coming to talk about discovering our power as women before the closing ceremony, which mirrors the starting one that's going to be hosted by Diane Majors, ensuring that we have the time to pause and reflect on what we're going to have taken away and be doing differently, plus loads of food and drink throughout the day. And then the other session I think I'm most excited about is at the end of the day, we're going to be going to have drinks and food downstairs for the first ever inaugural Inspiring Women in CX Awards presentation, where women from across the globe have been nominating one another to win one of 6 awards that are all based around our values. And yeah, I think, bearing in mind that the inception of Women in CX was to support women to be seen and heard and recognised for their work and thought leadership, then that's the perfect kind of cherry on the top of the day.
Yeah, well, that's certainly a jam-packed agenda full of really great speakers too, and kind of awards, and so much going on, and no mammals, as you said, that's a great phrase. But I think maybe kind of the final question that I have for you, Claire, kind of where can any of our viewers who may be interested in attending the event, where can they go to sign up and kind of learn more?
Yeah, sure. So if you just Google Women in CX, we're now #1 on Google for our website, and you'll be able to find all the information that we have about the conference, the awards, but also membership, more about our other services, and the address is womenincx.community, but you'll find it, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, so we'll just absolutely love more of your viewers to come and enjoy the conference around the theme of empowering connection and connecting with one another on that day. So thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, it was really great talking to you, Claire. And what I'll do also is I'll put a link to the website too in the description box below. But yeah, as I said, Great to speak to you once again, Claire, and thanks very much for coming on and joining me today.
Thank you so much, Charlie, and huge thanks to CX Today for being our media partners again this year. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And also kind of a final thank you to all our viewers for watching. Bye for now.